A look this morning at Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth boarding a plane to California. A look maybe at Pete Hegseth boarding a plane to California. His trip comes as the Trump administration. There he is. I told you we were going to get a look at it, and there it is. Hegseth and the administration face growing scrutiny for strikes on alleged drug boats. Also, there is this new Pentagon Inspector General report about the Secretary's use of the messaging app Signal to discuss highly sensitive military plans. It found that the information that Hegseth shared risked endangering U.S. troops. With us now is Mark Greenblatt, the former Inspector General for the Department of Interior. He was terminated from that position by the president in January. So great to have you here, Counselor. I just want to read just one clip from this report that the Secretary's actions created a risk to operational security that could have resulted in failed U.S. mission objectives and potential harm to U.S. pilots. Yet Secretary Hegseth says that this report totally exonerates. How accurate is his assessment?
Yeah, so this is a good news, bad news story for the American people. And at the end of the day, it's pretty damning for Secretary Hegseth. As you just said, the report found that he should not have shared that information, that it was classified, and he made this spontaneous decision to declassify it and send it by text over his personal phone and using a commercial app. The IG faulted him for that, and yet he claimed a total exoneration. It's hard to square with the facts that they found in the OIG report here.
You said it was a bad news. Good news. What's the good news?
So the good news, I would say, is that in the face of the administration's long-term decimation of the Inspector General community, is that we have the DOD Office of Inspector General standing up and conducting hard-hitting oversight, and that's exactly what the American people need right here, right now. And so I think that's the good news story here, is that the American people know that they have, someone on the inside of these federal agencies fighting for them, watching their tax dollars and ferreting out waste, fraud, and abuse.
How unusual is it? Secretary Hegseth did not sit for an interview for this. He released some kind of a written statement. How unusual is it for a principal person in an investigation not to answer questions?
It's highly unusual and very problematic from my perspective. The folks in the DOD IG need to interview witnesses, look at them face to face, assess their credibility, be able to ask follow-up questions, probe theories and test the witness's memory. Those are integral parts of a witness engagement, and to forego an interview and only have a written statement, you don't have the opportunity to cross-examine them, ask follow-up questions. It's very unusual and very problematic. I had the exact same thing when I was the Inspector General at the Department of the Interior, and we refused to accept the written statement as as credible evidence, frankly. So this is highly unusual and problematic from my perspective.
Yeah, and you read a report like this with way different eyes than we lay people do. Could you tell how hard it was for this acting Inspector General to do this investigation, or how hard the Pentagon made it for them?
Well, as you said, Pete Hegseth refused to sit for an interview. He refused to turn over his personal phone, which is where the messages were coming from, which is another very problematic aspect of the evidence here. The acting IG was in a very difficult situation there. You have firings regularly of IGs. The White House is firing IGs and removing acting IGs for conducting their regular oversight operations. And that is a daunting task. And I credit the DOD OIG for standing up and just doing the right thing for the American people. We have a mantra in the IG community that we do our work. We conduct fair, objective, independent oversight without fear or favor. And that, I think they lived up to that in conducting this oversight.
Mark Greenblatt, I got to say, it is really instructive to be able to look at this through your eyes with all your expertise. So thank you so much for coming on this morning. Sarah?